very important question. Cabinet nominee, you know, land in this country is one of the reasons why we had the 2010 Constitution. It's one of the key aspects. And it actually gave birth to Article 67, which formed the National Lands Commission, where people from regions that for a long time had had issues on land, especially historical land injustices, that gave birth to Ndungu Report, Njonjo Report, and many other reports, pushed and voted. My people woke up very early in the morning to go and vote for the new constitution, not because of any other thing, but because of land, especially the coast. Today in Parliament, over 80% of the petitions we receive are actually on issues related to land and security. Now, looking at it, it becomes, therefore, it requires leadership, strong leadership to actually finish these issues of land. But the National Lands Commission, I don't want to belabor the issue of National Lands Commission because you've answered many questions, is one of the key planks in resolving the issues of land. People knew there was a ministry, but then they set up the National Lands Commission so that they can solve the problems. So the minister and National Lands Commission must work together to ensure that eventually people get justice in terms of historical land injustice and review of grants. Nominee, I am reliably informed that since you became CS, you have never had a meeting with the board, the National Lands Commission. You know, a formal meeting to actually sit and discuss issues and give leadership in the sector. And I think this is bringing issues as we move forward. But Honorable Speaker, what I would like to say this. We have moved amendments to amend the National Lands Commission Act so that we can extend their mandate in review of grants and hearing historical land injustice. But the biggest impediment has been the ministry, including a letter that we received from you dated 24th April. Which is signed by you, that you know there are certain issues. When the committee called you for the meeting to discuss these amendments, the committee said that the minister did not make an input. But when we passed the law in Parliament, when it was going now, we are supposed to send it first, and we respected your letter, and actually these are my amendments, and we held back. But the vibes I get, if I can use that word, the vibes I get is that probably the minister does not want the National Lands Commission to exist. She wants absolute power to run whatever she wants, the show in the land sector. And they are
making a speech. Can I ask a question?
So my question is, do you still believe that we should not review the law, especially section 14 and 15 of the National Lands Commission, to give them power to review grants and to hear historical injustice? I mean, do you still believe we should not review that and deny the National Lands Commission the power, or you have changed your mind about it?
In those many words, he's asking, are you hostile to the National Land Commission? And have you ever met them since you became minister?
Maybe I will repeat first that I don't know where your information is coming from, Honorable Member, but I said that I enjoy cordial relationship with Otachi Garrison, the chairman, and his commission. That is one. We have not had any conflict, either by exchange of letter or by verbal exchange. So the source you have could be a very biased or an incorrect source. I am working with them. Remember, they are also an independent commission, and their mandate, they must also not encroach on the mandate of the executive, because their mandate is very clear in the Constitution, and I have no personal interest or ministerial interest or executive interest to encroach on their mandate. But they must also remember there is also the clear mandate they have and we have. I have met them, Honorable Chair, in various meetings, formal meetings. I have met the board, and when the chair also confirmed that the board is coming, some of the members did not come, and I don't want to go into that because the commission, I think you need to summon the commission yourself as Parliament. The commission has its own challenges. I think it's right now maybe a bit.
You say you have no problem with them, then continue to list their problems.
Not myself, person, their own challenges, not between me and them, Honorable Chair.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe the reason they are not working is the challenge between, but not between me. They have handed over during a formal meeting the national land policy, because as their mandate they recommend to the ministry the national land policy. We have had a whole morning meeting, the entire board led by their chairman. So, and the chairman also paid a courtesy call. We have had other many meetings for various things with the chair and any other commission that has an issue to deal with at the ministry level. So I'm okay.
Your Speaker. What is your take on amendment?
Microphone.
Amendment of section 14
I think my
and 15.
take would be the take of everybody else. I mean, I work for the country. If those provisions, that particular maybe amendment you are talking about, if it is subjected to public participation and debate and other stakeholders and it goes through, then I wouldn't be the one who would hold it. But I don't want to sit here and say that it's okay, because it may not be okay for many other stakeholders.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Alice Wahome, this Ministry of Lands has been cited as corrupt from time immemorial. And the issue of, even when you watch news, many times you find people have been, kicked out of their houses because of the issue of fake titles, which you've addressed very well, I must say, because you've said you have a way of dealing with the fraudsters. Even if they have to go to court, let them go to court. But my question is, what action do you propose to take if you are approved on the staff of the ministry that are clearly, in many instances, involved in the same fraud? Because you've given us a direction on what you do with the fraudsters outside, but what about the staff? Because those ones are your staff. And secondly, when Kenya Kwanza came into office, there was the promise that the issue of evictions and demolitions of people's homes would be a thing of the past. You saw over 10,000 people kicked out of their homes in Mavoko, and that still continues to happen. In fact, recently, I think some people are kicked out of some estates within the city of Nairobi, and compensation given was definitely not enough, and part of it never even got to the registered owners. How do you, has the policy changed? And if so, what do you want to tell those Kenyans that have such issues and are concerned?
Let's take, we're going this way? No, we're coming that way. Amisi?
Thank you, Speaker, for starting where I am. Speaker, I've been quietly listening to these proceedings. I may not be a happy person because I expected, we vetted the nominee before us 2 years or so ago, and she has served in various portfolios. I expected a progress report, sort of success stories from where we posted her. But I can just hear a lot of verbosity on this and this. Land issue, land issue, Speaker, it affects even the public offices. If you look at the audit report of parastatus and the government agencies, 90% of the audit is just on land, either ownership, one entity taking another one to court, one parastato, and it consumes a humongous amount of money between legal fees and accounting fees and surveying fees. So it is an area that you do not just talk about it in the passing. So I wanted to hear from the nominee. Yes, she has served there, she's going there back. I don't have your progress report so far, but the issue of parastatals and the
How can you
government.
say she's going back before we decide?
Yes, if she's approved. The issue of parastatals and the government agencies taking each other to court on land issues. Is there a policy statement that you can solve it once and for all so that we save this country a lot of money that is being used between lawyers and the legal firms in all the parastatals, virtually all of them? And the perennial historical land injustices. I come from Kitale, and I think you've been there. You've tried to come across the land issue of the Kitale prisons, and it is across the country. We are perennially in constant problems with our constituents and the grabbers and landowners and the government entities perennially. Can it stop once for all? Can we have a progress report from your ministry going forward?
Answer the question by Robert and Missy.
From Robert, what am I doing with my staff? What have I done with the staff that I have said that sometimes they are part and parcel of the cartels? Since I got into the ministry, we have had 4 arrested officers and charged in court. There is another 3 under disciplinary processes. And therefore, I think to that extent, and have had a meeting with all the registrars in the country to restate the policy and the position of the minister and government in terms of this business of participating in fraud. And they know, and we have many other cases with the DCI, and I think there will be likely other officers that will be taken away by those cases. I think I could say to that, and I have also said that I intend to come back to Parliament to sharpen the provisions that will help to deal with the fraudsters. Then you asked, I think the question